Hey guys, it's Chris, aka Seiji. Um, one game that I really love playing is iRacing, and I'm starting a new series just to show beginners how to drive on iRacing, and specifically in the oval ladders and in the oval ranks. So, oval series, I've seen a lot of content out there for getting started in road racing, but for beginners in oval racing, it's a bit different. Um, to start, we're just gonna go over basic car control this episode, getting used to how to drive the car and how to hold a line, make sure you maintain control of the car at all times. And when you're starting out as a beginner, that's the most important thing, is that you don't lose control of the car. You want to be in control of it at all times, because you can't always control what other people do, but you can control what you do. So, I was just sat here for a minute without actually driving. So first, I'm going to pull out onto the track and start turning some laps. But of course, before you even turn some laps, if you're just starting iRacing, what you want to do is you make sure you have the right equipment and it's properly calibrated and configured. So I use a Thrustmaster T150 wheel with the pedals. It might as well be mandatory to use a wheel whenever you're racing on iRacing, just because it is very important to maintain control. Using a normal gamepad or Xbox controller or something is not going to give you the proper fine control that you need to actually keep a handle on these cars. Right now I'm in the street stock out Charlotte Motor Speedway. The rookie series in the ovals is the street stock rookie series. Basically, they do a rotation between Charlotte Motor Speedway, this big oval, and USA International Speedway, which happens to be a track that I believe is torn down by now. But basically, those tracks are chosen to give rookies an idea of how racing is going to be like in the oval series as a whole, and it's supposed to train those skills and train people to drive safely on those types of tracks. Charlotte Motor Speedway is the easier one, just because you don't have to really deal with throttle and brake inputs. That's why I'm starting here. So as you can see, this is right down that backstretch. I was not holding on to the wheel very tightly, and you can see there were bumps on the track. Car wanted to sway a little bit because it wasn't completely straight in the first place, and you're moving around a bit. And now imagine everyone on the track with you fighting that at the exact same time. And when there's not a lot of experience and a lot of drivers that are aware of how to properly control their car, you can see how that becomes an issue. Basically, what you want to do is just on the straightaway, hold your car as straight as possible. You're going to be in situations when you're racing where you're going to be really, really close to other cars, going flat out, trying to get all the speed you can. And it's important that when you're on the straightaway or in the corners, you try to hold your line and make it predictable for the other drivers. I'm not going to get too much into oval racecraft, but it's good to understand that if you're going to do practice laps at Charlotte, it's not really about building speed in the rookie series. It's more so about building consistency in your driving. You don't want to be inconsistent, because that lets the other inexperienced drivers that are with you in the rookie series, it confuses them. It doesn't let them know, okay, how is this guy going to drive? Oh, this number 3 car is this number 2 car, this number 8 car. I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm just going to go for it. And then that's how you get dangerous situations where you rack up a bunch of incident points and you lose safety rating. As far as safety rating goes, you definitely want to make sure you get it as high as possible and race as clean as possible, because the more incidents you get per corner, or the more corners you have without any incidents, the higher that safety rating will climb at each race. So as you can see, as I explained a little bit about holding lines straight away, now you can see that the car is drifting a little bit up the track in the corners. Most oval cars on the pavement side will lose grip as a run goes on. So as the tires heat up, the tires wear out. You might already know this, but they're going to lose grip. You're going to be sliding around a little bit more. Considering how over racing is a lot of times close action, cars are starting to lose grip. You're trying to go as fast as you can. It can get hectic, especially on those speedways, but it happens on short tracks too. Important thing is car control. I'm not going to show you much of the brake inputs, but you need to imagine that a tire has a fixed amount of grip. If you are putting a lot of steering wheel input into it, or if you're already at full throttle, or even like using the brake while the throttle is on, that's testing that tire even more than it needs to be tested. Even meaning that all those inputs are just going to be less and less effective on top of each other in accelerating the car in the direction that you want it to go. So of course, gas is accelerating forward, brake is going to be accelerating backward just to slow the speed of your car down, and steering is to get the car to turn in whatever direction you're steering. So if you really want to make sure your car is controlled, you need to make sure you make smooth movements. You don't want to make jerky movements like that, because that's going to get the car upset. The car is not going to be able to predictably react to those types of movements. Try to keep them smooth. Don't jerk your wheel a lot. Don't throw the wheel as far as you can heading down in the corner trying to get it to turn, because there's going to be a point where if you put too much steering angle in it, you're just going to lose grip. If your car's drifting up the track, lift off the throttle a bit. This is especially important if you're racing side by side with someone. Keep in mind, if you're racing side by side with someone, you're going to need to adjust your line. I'm going to go into that more in depth in my series of videos, but at this point, you're just going to be practicing. You're not going to be driving. You're in a race. You're not going to be around like 20 other cars at the same time. As a rookie and as a beginner, make sure you practice and have complete control of your car. And I'm going to say this one more time before I end this video. You can't control what other cars do on track. Everyone else is running their own race. They're trying to do whatever they want, whether they want to win, just gain safety rating, just want to have fun. They might get angry, start wanting to wreck people. You can't control that. What's important is that you can control your own car. And if you have the most control over your own car, and you actually know how to maneuver your car around the racetrack itself, that's going to set up the fundamentals for making sure you can go fast, making sure you can avoid accidents, and making sure you can just have fun. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll be uploading more of these, and for now, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be coming out with more iRacing tutorials. Have a nice day. I'm Chris, aka Seiji. Please like and subscribe.